way, Cole.
Okay. So we've got Game 3, Austin versus San Antonio. Austin took the first two games. They were super competitive. Everything that you'd want out of a matchup of two teams of this quality. I personally, the highlight of the games for me have been probably chaser defense for Austin and then beater play on San Antonio's side. But, all facets of all teams have been exceptional so far this game.
Yeah, and what I came into this game looking for was basically premier beater matchups, right? We've got Daniel Williams on San Antonio, who's pretty well respected around the country as being one of the top beaters in the club division for USQ. And then we have Kaiser Polzin, who's just as many accolades, is also the national champion for the college division for USQ. So seeing that matchup was something that I think a lot of people have been looking for. The supporting cast all around has been incredible from top to bottom in both chaser and beater lines for both teams.
It seems like right now it would almost be inaccurate for like looking at the series. If Austin were to sweep and you weren't watching these games, you might think that it was close but comfortable wins for Austin. It's been anything but that. San Antonio's more than held their own, and they've looked the better team at different points throughout both games. It's just a question of how long these different runs last and how you respond when one team gets the upper hand. And so far, Austin's just had one more answer here or there.
Yeah, and not for lack of trying. I mean, you've got an incredible beater corps with Kat Hayworth and Vladimir Nunez. That pairing is just almost unstoppable sometimes. They come away with control an incredible number of times in situations that you wouldn't expect it. Vladimir Nunez has been all over the field. Kat Hayworth going blow for blow with pretty much every beater on the Austin Outlaws side. David Avila is somebody we've just been talking about every game, basically. The tackle has been there. A handful in both games. So expect to see another handful in Game 3. I know he's very tired, so we'll see if he's able to hold that up.
Absolutely. Got to give credit to Hayworth. She's probably played more minutes than anybody not named Esparza in this series, and has not looked worse for wear. She's maintained her quality throughout that those big minutes. So big props to her. Let's see what it looks like in Game 3.
Yeah, and I think if we're going to see anything, we've seen a lot of the depth for the Austin Outlaws come and play pretty significant minutes. So we might see, if any changes to happen, if there is to be a widening in the score gap at 20 minutes, I might expect to see it for the Austin Outlaws if they're more willing to play their depth and San Antonio has come out and played their players. But yeah, we're about to get started. We get the thumbs up from everybody. Live stream desk is also ready. We do have a new player in for the San Antonio Soldados. Catherine Hay is in for the Chasers. She'll be paired with Mel Kite, Jay Stewart, and Miguel Esparza in the qualified game, as Daniel Williams and De La Fuente are going to be their beaters for San Antonio. For the Austin Outlaws, we have Kaiser Polson, Taylor Tracy, McBride, Johnson, Beavers, and Monroe. Brooms up. And we get the quaffle in the hands of the Austin Outlaws. It's going to be Josh Johnson with it, and they have control, so they win pretty much everything on that. Brooms up. Monroe now with the quaffle. Pulls in, beating out defenders at the point. Jay Stewart playing point defense in this 2-2 zone. Daniel Williams racing with Taylor Tracy, but Tracy's going to come away with it. De La Fuente forcing a pass. McBride behind the hoops. She's looking for someone she's stepping in. She's got a couple juke moves and a shot. It gets blocked. It was going to be a little bit low anyway, so Ms. Esparza's going to pick this up. The score is still tied 0-0, less than a minute in.
Maybe a little bit of hesitancy there from McBride. Didn't seem like she was getting the look that she was expecting from San Antonio in one way or another. Either way, the shot hits Esparza right in the chest, and that's going to be a turnover.
Yeah, and Casey Irwin's now substituted in as Kaiser Polson takes a beat. We're going to maintain control as Mel Kite's going to dance around. She's going to put it into the hands of Esparza. We're going to get a stoppage here. I'm not sure what this is for yet. A dangerous kick. So that will be a penalty on De La Fuente. He's going to argue his case, but it's already been called, so we'll move on as the quaffle gets turned over. Closest defender is Augustine Monroe, as Austin's going to take off.
San Antonio's only beater is Kat Hayworth, and she's got their buzzer is retreating back into her own zone.
As Jay Stewart tried to steal that quaffle from behind, but they get good communication from the Austin Outlaws as Kaiser Polson beats him out. Augustine stepping in. Esparza right there in his face. He's going to step in. A floater does not land. And Kaiser Polzen's going to make sure that Casey Beavers is able to recover that. So she's going to cut inside. She's going to look for an opportunity, and it does go through.
And doing her best Aaron McBride impersonation there with that pump fake to the top hoop.
I'm sorry I got started on that clock late. We're just about 2 minutes into this game. We'll fix that at the next stoppage. As Austin takes first points on the board, 10-0. De La Fuente back into the game. He's going to take a substitution, though. It's Baldemir Nunez now in the game to partner up with Kat Hayworth, just like we talked about. That duo has done a lot of work today. Kaiser pulls in, steps up with bludger control, meets Baldy really high. An engage happens. A pass from Esparza to Stewart at the top of the pitch. Back to Esparza as Austin maintains bludger control. Stewart now at the quaffle. Hayworth gives Nunez the bludger. Tim Wynn now back to Stewart. 3 San Antonio quaffle players are on the mid-pitch side of the field. Stewart looking for an opportunity to drive behind that exchange. He's being pressured by Irwin, though. So he's going to back out, put it in the hands of Esparza as he coordinates Wynn. Irwin's going to pressure him, but he is not tapped out.
Nice deliberate offense here. There's a block from Casey Irwin.
Great block. Esparza told Hayworth to go take Casey out, and she survives that attack. A shot opportunity just too high. Wynn knows he's a little upset with himself as Kaiser Polson's going to use that third bludger. Pressure from Baldemir Nunez does not land as Monroe sees Josh Johnson. He dodges a beat attempt with a nice little wiggle. He's got Jay Stewart in front of him. He gets around him. A pass over to Monroe. He's going to wiggle around, and he's taken down, but that is hands in the air from every ref. Beavers is going to be here. She's going to pass it back to Josh Johnson, and he's going to cut around Esparza and shoot for points.
So we have, this is almost certainly some sort of contact foul on Tim Wynn. And so he's headed towards the box. So it's going to be yellow, so I guess the time will be served because of the goal. So great Chaser offense there to keep it alive after the contact. Fed the ball to Beavers, who found its way back to Johnson, who was able to hit the shot to score. Let's say, so San Antonio now down 20 to nothing. Austin leads with San Antonio on offense.
So we got the time corrected. We're at 3 minutes 15 seconds now. The score is 20-0. And no time served on that. Kaiser pulls in, exchanges with Kat Hayworth. He's going to win that. A low beat, though. Esparza's not going to be beat. So he's going to take it behind the hoops. He sees Mel Kite, throws a hand in the air. I'm sorry, that's Sosa. She's going to shoot, and it's too high.
And that's going to be a turnover going the other way for Austin.
No, that was Mel Kite. I was right the first time.
And say, Austin is playing at a noticeably faster pace this game. The beaters are being very active, tapping out chasers as they go, and there's a feed. That's an old school, just drive and dish. And there's a nice play by Kat Hayworth to gain control. And she beats out both Polson and Irwin. And there, San Antonio's going to come away with control after they go up 30-0.
That's exactly what San Antonio's need to get back in this. Like I said, Nunez and Hayworth have been doing a lot of work, but they've been doing a lot of it with control. As Nunez is going to take out all the point defenders. Jay Stewart on the close side of the pitch. Pressure from... but he's going to get around her. Casey Beaver's not able to stop that one.
Say Jay Stewart saw an opening there. McBride positioned a little bit awkwardly on the edge of that little hoop, and he was able to shake off of Beavers and had the space to finish to that hoop for the goal to put the Soldados on the board. Taylor Tracy in at beater now for Austin.
Taylor Tracy beating. She takes out Tim Wynn, who slaps that. It's going to be a hand up, a penalty on the defender. As Monroe's going to look as an opportunity. A pass is going to get intercepted, so they're going to stop this. It looks like that was a bludger that was swatted out of the hand of the Austin beater. We'll wait for the official call, though, and that would be on Tim Wynn. And it looks like it's a blue card. 30 seconds, number 21.
So interesting situation here as Wynn goes to the box, but Austin has recovered that second bludger all on their own. So as far as bludger possession is concerned, I don't think there will be any impact here. Esparza currently...
swat after the beat, not swat out of the hand.
No, that classic second contact foul with the MLQ exclusive swatting rule. You have to make that first contact But once you're beat, you got to just treat it just like a normal situation.
It's a keen eye to be able to catch that. Those things always happen so quick, and as a beater, I know that they generally don't get called.
It really is a grab bag. You got to just play through those situations when they happen and hope that a ref sees it. So I think what the discussion might be about right now is the ownership of the quaffle, about whether or not it's going to be turned back over to Austin or whether or not San Antonio is going to get to keep it. And it is going to be turned over. Augustine Monroe will get the ball deep in the San Antonio zone.
Yeah, they called that advantage before he shot it and passed it basically over to Miguel Esparza. So he knew he had the advantage, so he took the shot. And now we're going to get back to this play. Pass over to McBride. Easy goal. So just under 5 minutes into this game, a 40-point total for the Austin Outlaws, 10 points for the San Antonio Soldados as Cat Hayworth passes the bludger over to Baltimore Nunez. Mel Kite's going to go behind. Eric Reyes substitutes into the game. Jay Stewart on the far side of the pitch now instead of the close side where he's been most of the day. Esparza carries across it. He's going to orchestrate a little bit of this traffic, telling them where to go. Reyes now with the ball. Pressure from Beavers. Pass over to Stewart as Tracy's able to dodge a beat attempt. Jay Stewart to a cutting Esparza. He's going to look for a pass opportunity. It's going to get intercepted or tapped, but Makai's still going to come away with it. She's driving. It's a beat. It's an allowed pass as Reyes is looking for somebody to throw it to. He's definitely going to take a beat there. And it's going to be a turnover in some Augustine Monroe's hands. Baltimore Nunez is going to prevent the fast break. They're a couple of exchange beats there, but nothing's going to actually come of it as San Antonio is going to still have actually going to come away with control. Beavers looking for an opportunity to drive in. She's going to take a beat, a late pass, but it's going to be counted. Nope, they're going to turn it over.
Augustine Monroe is going to want that one back. He had the open hoop to the top hoop and just kind of shanked it a little bit.
Hard to keep up with all those beater plays happening on that last play, but San Antonio has a single bludger as Esparza is on the close side of the pitch. Brings it across midfield. Reyes now on the far side of the pitch. Tracy takes it, is going to get called B after trying to play through that a little bit. But Austin still has control. Hayworth with the only bludger. Protecting Esparza. Monroe at the keeper's own line, so he's not going to be eligible to be beat. Passed over to Reyes. Passed over to Stewart.
San Antonio is taking up noticeably less space on offense right now. They're not spread nearly as far as they were at different points, and Monroe almost snipes that pass.
That would have been a great opportunity. But Reyes is looking to drive now. A dish, a no-look pass to Stewart. He's going to take a beat, and the ball doesn't go through anyway. Monroe with a fast break opportunity, but 3 defenders in his way, and 1 including a bludger. It's not going to be something he's going to push too hard. But he gets around Reyes, past the beater. He's going to try to spin move and dunk on the tall hoop. So 40-point advantage.
Right, then we got a fast break opportunity here as Austin's beaters are scrambling to recover bludgers.
But Monroe is ready for that, and Josh Johnson's ready for that, and there's going to be a stoppage here. We're going to
teach.
All right, so we do have one player who's going to be down. We'll actually just turn this around. So we've got a 50-10 score now for the Austin Outlaws. They're going to be up 40 points. We're just over 7 minutes of this game time. So this is kind of what we were alluding to before the stream actually started. We're getting a little more of an advantage for the Austin Outlaws here, playing all that depth, I think. A little bit more rest for some of their first 2 lines. And we get some applause around as everybody gets up off the field, so no sustained injuries, hopefully, but I think that was Bailey Fields who took that collision.
Yeah, no, she took a hit to the head with a bludger. Baltimore Nunez seemed very concerned as soon as he let it go. So good to see her walking off under her own power.
Yeah, she's over there laughing now, so I think she's okay.
Okay, thank goodness. But yeah, Austin's energy levels have been way up in this game versus their previous games, especially in comparison. San Antonio just looks just a half beat slow. Some of these passes aren't quite as crisp. Finishes aren't quite as strong. But that said, Jay Stewart does have the ball right at the medium hoop for what will be a contested. I guess Augustine Monroe could maybe block this, but I imagine he'll just kind of put his fist to the hoop and finish here.
The savvy veteran has queued up for something like that. We're going to turn this camera back around so you can see the field. But they're going to talk through as Bradley Himes, the coach for San Antonio, is going to come out and try to make a case for something. We'll see particularly what the focus is there about face beats and whether or not that was egregious. But Bailey Fields is out of the game. I don't know if she's expected to come back in. I probably wouldn't risk it if it deals with her head. I mean, San Antonio or Austin has their 2 games. They've won the series. They've got a comfortable lead here. You've got the depth in place. Oh, Vladimir Nunez just got a red card for egregious play.
I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that that's going to be for an egregious head beat. But that's going to hurt San Antonio bad, as that's going to be a beater in the box for the next 2 minutes, no matter how many goals Austin scores, as well as who arguably has been their best beater throughout the.
Yeah, and the actual cause of egregious face beat, and it's a red card. And we've been giving credit to Vladimir Nunez. I'm sure it was an intentional thing to some degree, but yeah, with Baldi out of the game, that's going to be a huge blow to the depth that San Antonio's been bringing to that beater for. Bradley Himes, who came out there and made the argument that trying to argue for his team, is somebody who can come into that beater line. I don't think we've seen him yet in that beater lineup, so that's definitely somebody who's got experience for both UTSA, Texas State, different teams in USQ. He's got plenty of experience to step in for the beater corps for San Antonio.
All right. Oh, and it's also because of the card, it's a Quaffle turnover, so San Antonio will not get that goal. Quaffle is with Augustine Monroe.
And we're off. So 2 minutes of power play here. We'll expect to see a beater back in at 9.5 minutes almost. As Taylor Tracy sees an opportunity, that's goals on the points on the board from Aaron McBride. So Taylor Tracy using every third bludger there is. As soon as that Quaffle crosses that keeper zone line, and Miguel Esparza is going to make sure it takes as long as it possibly can. As Taylor Tracy's not going to go take the substitution since he knows there's no point in waiting around. John Molina now coming into the game for the Austin Outlaws. Josh Andrews on the hoops with Aaron McBride, Casey Beavers, Augustine Monroe, Casey Irwin, and John Molina of the beaters. Kat Hayworth, the lone beater for San Antonio. Eric Reyes, Wyatt Ross, Catherine Hay, Miguel Esparza. The Quaffle lineup as Kat Hayworth loses her bludger interaction. A low beat attempt, a forced pass from Miguel Esparza doesn't land correctly, so it's going to be another turnover, and we're still a full minute away from having another beater back in the game for the San Antonio Soldados, and it will not be Vladimir Nunez. It looks like it might be Chris De La Fuente, who's standing in the box for him right now. As David Avila comes in with the green headband for San Antonio. And the pass goes behind the hoops from Sammy Garza, who's now in the game. Caroline Town now with an opportunity. She's being pressured by Wyatt Ross. A nice high tackle is forcing a lot. Quaffle's on the ground. It looks like it's going to be out of bounds possibly. Is it going to be in the hands of which team? As we get another stoppage. We're still about 25 seconds away from having a beater in for San Antonio.
So we have another player down for this time for San Antonio, and the refs will gather and discuss. But, so what we're looking at here for San Antonio is really just trying to penalty kill. They've given up 1 goal on the red card already. They would love to just keep it there. And so John Molina has also just received a red card.
All right, so at least they're even in this department. As John Molina's going to accept that red card. And now we'll have 1 beater on each side game for at least 20 seconds.
So this is something I've never seen before. I've never seen 2 red cards for opposite teams simultaneously. I've been playing Quidditch a long time. This one's a new one for me. So both teams down to 5 players, 1 beaters each, which means I guess it's going to be a question of which of these beaters can just ball out the most and do the most with all the balls on the ground. No immunity now.
Catherine Hayworth with
who
is it?
No.
Casey Irwin?
Yeah, so Casey Irwin's in. My Heimbaugh has actually subbed in for Hayworth, who,
She was hurt.
yes, but she is no longer with the trainer. She's standing on the sideline. She seems to be okay.
All right, we'll turn this camera around and we'll get ready for when this play starts back up. As the refs fully discuss the rest of the details here, Augustine Monroe, the coach for the Outlaws, is making his case, or trying to get as much information as he can. As Claire Costanza also on the sideline. She is the coach for the beater lineup for the Austin Outlaws. There's Dylan Bottoms over there, also on the sideline. And a shout out to Joey Galtelli, who wasn't able to make it into the series today. More depth for Austin Outlaws could only have helped them, and Joey's a hell of a player himself.
So we're now double red cards, one red card for each team, 2 red cards total. All right, we are at 8 minutes and 46 seconds in game time, so we are still a long ways out. Austin is up 60-10, I believe. And so we have Chris De La Fuente serving the penalty for San Antonio. We have Cameron Ogilvie serving the penalty for Austin.
You got to make sure you get his name correct.
I would say it almost got me, but it's been a minute since we've seen him out here. He had a great career at Texas State. Wonder where he'll play in the future. And I'll be honest right now, there's lots of people pointing at all sorts of things right now. I don't imagine, okay, so it appears to be the third bludger, which is on San Antonio's sideline, which no one is allowed to have right now. So we'll just see how this plays out.
That is a first. I don't think I've ever seen that before.
I don't know. I'm just gonna say, like, as a beater, it would be a lot of fun to be in this situation. Like, this is an opportunity to just kind of go nuts. It's a mano-a-mano kind of situation.
A little bit of the unlimited ammo if you actually win these interactions. But Wyatt Ross with the quaffle, he's going to inbound it. A little bit of pressure from Caroline Tao.
Yeah, Irwin.
Maya Heinbaugh applying a lot of pressure to Tao now. Let's see how this engaged beater situation is going to work out right now. Maya's going to land a beat against Casey Irwin. Another beat lands against Casey Irwin, but Casey's going to come. She's looking for help from the refs, but Eric Reyes driving in. Wyatt Ross, Josh Andrews tipping it in the air. It is a little bit of a volleyball match. Arian Godesy now taking off. He's looking for a partner. Josh Andrews to his right. He's going to corral it and shoot it 4 points.
The finishes through the contact from Avila. Avila is a great effort on both players' parts.
And we didn't start the clock there.
That's okay. So Chris Del Fuente is back in for San Antonio, so they're up to full strength. Austin probably has about a minute left to kill on this penalty.
Casey Irwin's not able to get that bludger that was at her feet. She dropped her broom when she was trying to tag.
Wyatt Ross goes to top hoop, is blocked by Josh Andrews. And Augustine Monroe recovers the ball in his keeper zone, and Austin will attempt to penalty kill this the rest of the way. Casey Irwin recovers the ball deep in San Antonio's half, while Chris Del Fuente beats out all kinds of San Antonio or Austin players, and just like that, Casey Irwin is back facing up with Chris Del Fuente deep in his own half. Now we have Augie Monroe throws it. Oh, and that's going to be a turnover going for San Antonio. Chris Del Fuente is making Casey Irwin's life very hard. It's a great cut there by Eric Reyes and a great pass from Wyatt Ross to score a goal.
So in this power play, you're going to have a 70-20 score now for the Austin Outlaws with the 5-goal lead. De La Fuente is still in this game.
Keaton Mallory has subbed in for...
Monroe's going to get a lot of pressure now. As Caroline Tao dodges a beat, that's going to go way off pitch, though. Casey Irwin's going to chase that down. Keaton Mallory with an opportunity to score.
Oh, wow. What a great press break there.
It does go.
I'm going to say deep behind his half, all alone, basically cherry picking. San Antonio seems surprised that he was down there. He made one cut, got to the little hoop, and scored. Great opportunistic offense there. And Ogilvie is in, so now Austin back up to full strength, and they're leading 80-20.
And David Avila is now in. Clayton Carlisle with the quaffle on the far side of the field. Going to pass it up behind the hoops as Catherine Hayes going to be an option for a pass there. It goes over the hoops, though, to Avila. Ogilvie's going to look. He's going to catch. He's not going to get the beat off, though, so it's points on the board for San Antonio.
It's a great drive there by Avila, and then there's the beat on Casey Irwin.
It was a hard beat from De La Fuente, so he's almost out of the play for just a little bit too long, and he's out of position. There's a couple of passes. Actually, Wyatt Ross is going to pick this up and go the other direction.
And fast break opportunity here for San Antonio if they want it. There's a relay in to Casey Irwin. Oh, and Kat Hay hit by Augustine Monroe and is stuffed to the hoop.
There's an opportunity there. I thought she might have been beat, but she fights through that. Augustine Monroe is just there and bounces it in the air, and as a keeper, he can't be bothered anymore, so he is going to walk that quaffle into the keeper zone, take a substitution now. Sammy Garza is going to be coming in at the keeper position. Josh Johnson with the quaffle. Keaton Mallory on the close side of the pitch. Swathi Manam is going to be behind the hoops. Cameron Ogilvie is going to exchange his goals.
JJ just walks up to the keeper zone line, shoots top hoop, walks back to his side with a goal. We've got Mel Kite and Chris Del Fuente in at beater for San Antonio, and Clayton Carlisle, David Avila, Matt Blackwood, and who is that on the far side of the field? That's Amber Bonham. Yep. All right, so we got Blackwood bringing it up, passing back and forth. Sends it to Bonham down in the far right corner. She passes back to Blackwood as the beaters dive in on Austin's beaters. Sammy Garza with a wrap. Blackwood swings it to Carlisle. Carlisle spins, and the ball goes.
I'm going to get a stoppage here as they discuss whether they went through. I think everyone says it did. So
All
there's
right.
hands in the air and a whistle blown, and we're going to call those points on the board. Did I miss a goal? We're going to match up to that scoreboard on the official score table across the way. So a little under 13
Sammy
minutes.
Garza
in this game.
He says Sammy Garza driving, no bludger, swings the ball to Josh Johnson, shrugs off a tackle from Avila, and finishes to Swati Madam, and she scores. That puts Austin up to 90? 100 points. So 100 to 40 is the score now. Great, just transition offense right there. Find the open person, make the play, score the goal.
Isn't it 90?
They just changed the score back to 90, so maybe it's 90-40?
We're going to match the official score table over there. But David Avila with the quaffle over to Blackwood. He's going to get around Garza. Pressured by Porvy. That's going to be a miss. That's a dunk goal that does not go through. Garza now picks it up, being pressured immediately by Clayton Carlisle and Amber Bonham. As Porvy Mujumdar is going to bring this bludger up, clear out a little bit of a path. De La Fuente with the bludger. Mel Kite into the position. That's going to be a teardrop goal from Sammy Garza. Just sort of lets that one flow through, and it is now 100 to 40. A 6-goal lead for the Austin Outlaws, the biggest lead of the game on either side.
So Johnson and Garza both just eating up that top hoop. And
we're at 14 minutes.
14 minutes have
Let me
passed.
correct that time. I'll make it.
So Esparza back in the game now for San Antonio, along with Jay Stewart, Matt Blackwood, Melchida Beater, and Amber Bonham, as well as Chris De La Fuente, also at Beater. So we swing the ball down to Bonham. Bonham looking for an option. He's got a lot of pressure in her face. Swings it back up to Stewart, who's got Blackwood up at the top. Melchida with a great tackle there, but is beat, and Austin will retain control. Well, Blackwood's beat out as he swings the ball over to Esparza here on the far side of the field. And Esparza taking the ball deep into the corner, looking for options. Just seems to be hanging out in that space. Slings it sharply across to Stewart. Stewart takes a beat. Blackwood's there to recover it. And everyone's going to stop to catch their breath.
Yeah, great beat to force that. Basically slows down San Antonio's attack.
There definitely seems to be just a need to. Oh, that was. I'm not sure if that was intentionally a shot. Amber Bonham wrapped up. JJ's got the ball. Shrugs off Esparza. And we'll wait for Beater pressure to push those chasers back. Now, Johnson driving up the field. Beater's in front of him. Swings it to Augustine Monroe. Finishes over top of Esparza. Great cut.
A little bit of a dangerous tackle attempt on Monroe. He jumped in the air to get that. And we are going to get a timeout at just about 15 and a half minutes into this game. Yeah, it's really interesting seeing these transitions. If you've got an opportunity that you don't want to necessarily do a full fast break on, you're looking for your beaters to clear out your path because you're getting so much more pressure up just outside your keeper zone than I think we've probably ever really been used to.
Absolutely. Well, and I definitely think that these fast breaks from Austin are a little bit more deliberate. They're waiting for their beaters to get up into space to be able to make a tap beat and force San Antonio to react. And because of that, more space is open. They're not able to set up. And those cuts are available if you've got a ball handler that's able to find them and cutters that are able to get to those spaces. So great transition goal there for Austin. Really kind of feeling the...
I missed another goal.
Oh,
we got to get a...
Oh, it's 12. Okay, so it's...
It is 12.
Okay.
120 to 40 is an 8-goal lead. So, again, the biggest in the entire series. We'll turn this screen back around for you. But, yeah, I mean, this is what we talked about. We're seeing the full depth and the fully more of a rested lineup for the Austin Outlaws. We're seeing some more players for San Antonio. Clayton Carlisle's getting more minutes. Catherine Hayes getting more minutes. Amber Bonham's getting more minutes. But it just may be a little too late for some of these Miguel Esparzas and Jay Stewarts to carry the team to more points, enough to erase this deficit.
At this point, we've built a pretty... Oh, Catherine Hayworth is missing her broom.
Someone stole her broom.
Oh, well, I hope not. No one would be that dishonest. She seems thoroughly confused. Yeah, it's just a real mystery in there. We're just going to allow her to walk back to where she remembers being before the stoppage. All right, we're ready to get started here. Esparza's got the quaffle in the keeper zone.
And we got to start this clock. We got to make sure we're on time. So now we can talk about the game. As Bradley Himes now into the game at beater for the San Antonio Soldados. Partnered up with Catherine Hayworth, replacing Valdemir Nunes in this lineup. This is a pass that's intercepted. It was intended for Jay Stewart, but Josh Johnson's going to come away with it as Jack Wong's going to beat out a couple of defenders. An opportunity for Corby Mujumdar to also be a part of this offensive scheme. Josh Johnson, almost drops the ball, but passes it over to Siam, who's going to look for a pass possibly to McBride. After he draws, there it is, right there. Jay Stewart's going to step out and play defense. As McBride brings it back, passes over to Josh Johnson across the pitch. He's going to creep into this. He's going to take a shot, and it's going to go through. It's now 130-40.
Let's say these floaters are just giving San Antonio nightmares right now. The Austin ball carriers are getting into that space just a step or two beyond the keeper's own line, just shooting teardrops into that top hoop. That's at least 3 that they've hit this game, if not 4. It's really just a pretty easy shot if you've got it in your toolbox.
Yeah, that 9-goal lead is getting bigger. I mean, even with a snitch catch, this is starting to be a problem. As Jack Wong takes a beat to the face, he's not going to be able to maintain control, but Austin's going to get possession of the quaffle as that turnover is forced just behind the hoops. So Jack Wong, Corby Mujumdar are going to be the beaters. Stepping into the zone as Bradley Himes is looking to engage with Jack Wong, and Catherine Hayworth is evaluating all the chasers for Austin Outlaws. As Monroe passes to McBride, she's going to take it behind. She's got Josh Andrews to her right. Bradley Himes there for the pass, though. Monroe looking to creep in. Catherine Hayworth is going to force a shot, and Miguel Esparza is going to block it. McBride's going to stop it. It is out of bounds, though, so it is going to be a turnover, and she's taken out by Bradley Himes as Miguel is going to look for an opportunity to turn this around.
San Antonio playing in the most conservative defense we've seen so far today from either team, sitting in a 3 at the hoops, 1 up top defense with control, and their beaters sunk all the way deep inside of their keeper zone, almost standing on top of their own hoops, and just daring Austin to move the ball around effectively and create opportunities for themselves.
Yeah, and they forced that shot because Catherine Hayworth stepped up, and Miguel Esparza is just waiting on that shot. As he takes that quaffle, passes it back to Jay Stewart, and he's going to get it right back now over to Blackwood. Right back to Esparza, as Monroe's not worried about it. Also in a 3-1 defense for the Austin Outlaws, Miguel's going to take it all the way behind as these beaters sink. Jack Wong basically on top hoop. Jay Stewart now with the quaffle. Bradley Himes trying to clear out a little path, but Oxy Monroe's there with the green headband to make sure that small hoop is not an option. Miguel Esparza now looking for it. He's going to pass it over to Melina Souza, who passes it back to Blackwood up top. He's going to drop it, though. It's a swap pass that's really nice. Jay Stewart's going to pick it up and look for an opportunity to shoot, and he gets it. Now 130-50.
Jay Stewart's been a real bright spot for San Antonio's quaffle game. Been very athletic around the hoops, especially when he's receiving that pass on the wing and driving in towards the middle of the hoops. It's difficult to stop. He's a pretty explosive guy.
And a full team effort from every chaser and keeper on that San Antonio side, keeping that alive, passing around, looking for the weak spot. Blackwood almost dropped it, but he was able to swat it over to Jay Stewart for that goal. So good job by everybody on that team. McBride's going to get a pass. She almost out of bounds, but she's going to stay in. She's cutting. Josh Andrews, as she gets pushed down. Monroe's going to get the ball now. Bradley Himes dodges a beat attempt from Kaiser Polson. He's going to look to take a shot. He's going to pass it over to Siam now, who gets beat out by Bradley Himes. So it's a fast break in the other direction. Jay Stewart taking off far side of the pitch. Josh Andrews in front of him. A shot attempt is blocked by Oxy Monroe, forced by Josh Andrews. We're going to get a stoppage. That was a big hit.
I'll say excellent team chaser defense there. Josh Andrews steps up to make the tackle. Augie steps up behind him to cover the shot. It's really, you can't do it much better than that.
Yeah, I mean, heads up play from San Antonio to see an opportunity to drive it. It's just that once you've had Miguel basically fast break, Jay Stewart fast break, everybody on San Antonio looking for a fast break. Once you've had that happen a number of times on Austin, being well rested, you know you got to get back and hustle and play defense. So credit to both sides for the heads up and fast-paced play that we're seeing. Pretty big hit from Josh Andrews there. Just wrapping up that qualifier player and forcing the shot, Augie, the veteran that he is, knows that that's coming. So hands up at the hoops and blocks the shot.
So Jay Stewart walks off under his own power with the trainer. So hopefully we may not see him.
Sorry, a little distraction from the chat.
I'm sorry.
Cole, any weird beers on tap for tonight?
Probably. Yes, I have to follow me on Instagram to find that out. But I'm not here to plug my Instagram. We're here to talk about Quidditch.
1917 is the actual time, so we're going to fix that one.
All right, so we're almost to Secret 4 now with Austin leading 130-50 as they make a full line change. We've got Arian Goddessy coming in, Sammy Garza coming in. See Kaiser Polson, Casey Irwin, Aaron McBride stays in from the last group. And Sammy takes the ball down, gives it to Aaron deep in the corner. Kaiser Polson makes a beat to gain Austrian control. Sammy Garza with the ball, dribbling back in front of San Antonio's keeper zone line. Looking, feeds the ball to Andrews. Andrews pass to Goddessy behind the hoops. Little pump fake, feeds the ball back to McBride. Who feeds it back to Andrews. Ooh. Oh, okay, the shot is called no good. Beat before.
Josh Andrews does not agree. He called it good himself, but the ref does not. We'll have to watch that on instant replay one day, but for now, Bradley Himes is going to exchange with Kaiser Polson. It's not going to land, though, as he's going to get control. McBride takes a massive beat to her back, so pressure from Kaiser Polson. Wyatt Ross, Miguel Esparza,
and here's a fast break opportunity for Sammy Garza. Oh, that's going to be 20 minutes.
That is the 20-minute stoppage. Great job by Kaiser Polson and Casey Irwin. Is that his partner? Yeah, to force all of those interactions. So we've got a 20-minute stoppage here. Hide my USQ logo for a moment. This score differential, though, what do we have now? Is 130 to 50. So an 8-goal lead. The set score will be 210. Or sorry, what do I have? Yeah, 130. Sorry, 190 is the set score.
There you go. Well, I think what we're seeing here is unquestionably the effects of Baltimore Nunez not being in this game since about the midway point. I don't think Daniel Williams has played either since that red card. And so if this is just an opportunity, if San Antonio is looking at this as an opportunity to get more people more minutes, that's their decision. But I would definitely say that we are seeing, I think that red card really impacted the way that they were approaching this game.
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, when you're fighting for the 2-game record or 2 wins in this series for that number 1 seed, that's one story. But at this point, you have an opportunity now against really good competition to see where the entirety of your roster is and how they measure up against essentially the division champs. We shouldn't be writing off Kansas City.
Nope, that's true.
They also have people on their team who played in national scale games. So we're looking too far ahead there. We'll give Kansas City credit. We're going to see them later in the season. But we got to acknowledge that San Antonio has adjusted how they're playing this game as far as their roster is concerned.
All right, as the teams break it out and head back to their rooms, we'll have Eric Reyes starting at seeker for San Antonio. And since Josh Andrews is currently on the field at chaser, I guess it'll be Keaton Mallory. It's got to be somebody, but I don't see anybody over there yet. And it looks like, who is it going to be? It's going to be, I think it's going to be Swathi. I see her with a yellow headband.
So we did stop this on the fast break opportunity, but that opportunity is technically still here since we just paused the game. So a little over 20 minutes, and we're off. In a fast break, it is Sammy Garza looking for an opportunity. Josh Andrews gets it through, but Aaron McBride is one who actually made that coordinated passing event happen. So Swathi Munham is going to be trying to attack. She's ready in an attack pose over there. Sam Reagan putting hands on her, making sure she can't get past it. Kat Hayworth takes the beat. Daniel Williams in the game now.
Meanwhile, in the quaffle game, Miguel Esparza took a drive, took it all the way around the hoops to try to take the backside shot to the medium hoop, and missed it, came up short. Now we have Daniel Siam with the quaffle driving against Esparza and just powers through him. All right, they stop play.
I don't know what's happening over there.
That was impressive. Miguel was hanging all, and meanwhile, Swathi has caught the snitch. She has the tail in her hand. That is the fastest catch of the day by far.
Coffee Munham is the first woman to actually catch a snitch for the Austin Outlaws, and she's done it in 2 series in a row.
Absolutely. And that one was in what I have to guess was less than a minute and a half. That was very quick.
It was less than a minute.
It was less than a minute, yeah. Credit where credit's due. That's a exceptional seeking job. Well done.
Just inspiring her entire teammates over there. So let me implement those points. It is 165-50 with a set score of 190.
Meanwhile, Siam's right on top of the hoop. He's going to punch it in over top of, I think that was Sousa there at the hoop. Sosa. So that's going to bring the score up to 175-50 in favor of the Outlaws. Meanwhile, Daniel Williams and Kaiser Polzin are playing make beater trades all the way in the far back end of the Austin side of the field. And Kat Hayworth is still retrieving that ball as Austin goes to inbound it.
Yeah, Kaiser Polzin stepped up right up to the keeper zone with Miguel Esparza and forced that long pass. Daniel Williams looking to steal a ball from Casey Irwin, but she maintains it. Casey Beavers is beat out. Casey Irwin with the bludger. McBride with a goal. They are just 1 goal away from sweeping this series. As Daniel Williams is going to take another. Oh, he is actually not going to take the beat. Kaiser Polzin looking for a beat call, but it's not going to come. So Daniel Williams wins control for the San Antonio Soldados. And a beat does land, but the goal does not. It's 94. That is McBride with the quaffle.
It's a great read on that pass from McBride. Break it up as Melkite tries to receive it. She feeds the ball to Beavers, who swings it down to Arian Goddessy. Arian Goddessy looking at Daniel Williams. McBride cuts and scores.
And that is the set score. All right.
Well.
Yeah.
Wow, what a series. What a trio of games. That
fantastic start. I mean, at the 20 minutes of the first game, I think San Antonio had a 10-point lead. I could be wrong about that, but they swapped that for the second game, and then the third game just sort of got away from San Antonio there. Playing different players, loss of Baltimore Nunes hurt, just incredible play from San Antonio, from both, but also Austin Outlaws.
Yeah, a decisive win for Austin there in Game 3. Not really reflective of the competitiveness of the series as a whole. You kind of could just tell Austin just had a little bit more left in the tank for that last game, whether in personnel or just in fitness. So, a real testament to both teams. The first 2 games, some of the best Quidditch I've seen in quite a long time.
Yeah, you guys got a treat tonight, for sure.
So we're looking forward to seeing both of these teams play in Howard County in August. I expect that they'll give anyone they run up against quite a lot of trouble.
Yeah, and also a great film for Kansas City to come in and really build off of that. Seeing the kinds of goals that are working for both teams, just steal all that, implement it. The film's there for you.
Yeah, there you go.
It'll be another exciting series. Hopefully see them at the Super Series among other matchups. But thank you, Cole Travis, for commentating with me.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me. That was a blast.